you guys get to do all the talking, and we get to sit down.
So excited.
You should be. I'll take a deep.
I am.
Oh.
This is yours.
Oh. So, renewable energy. What is energy? Who can tell me what energy is?
Take some
Fat Tony.
power.
Power. No.
Jules.
Take some
Joules. That's a unit. Sure, let's see. What is it? Who can tell me what it is? Justin?
movement of particles.
Movement?
Science.
Energy is science. No, energy is the ability to do work, okay? It means we can move something, okay? And for our purposes today, energy is, we're going to be talking about electrical energy, okay? Somehow getting electrical energy. That's the desired output of renewable energy, okay? And renewable obviously means that there's no finite end to its resource. So who can tell me, is fossil fuel renewable? No. Well, it is, but not in our time frame. Okay? Because once we die, yeah, we're going to be fossil fuel eventually. But for our purposes, there's a finite limit of it left, and we're trying to not consume it as fast. Hence, renewable energy. So non-renewable energy, we talked about fossil fuel. It is renewable, but not, again, in our time frame. We're all going to be dead. Coal, natural gas, nuclear energy, these are all non-renewable sources, which means we burn them and they go somewhere else. Renewable, hydro, solar, biomass, wind, geothermal, those are all renewable, okay? We can't really see an end to these, so we're trying to figure out ways to harness them and to use them for our purposes.
Alright, so we're going to talk about solar energy first. And solar energy basically captures energy from the sun. Some of the devices are solar ovens or solar panels, if you guys have ever seen them on houses or like the top of this building, because I'm pretty sure those elevators are powered by solar power, and that's why they're so slow. But these are just some applications.
Again, so with solar, there's solar thermal and there's photovoltaic. So solar thermal is when you go outside and you feel the heat, that radiation, that's solar thermal. We can use that, we can trap that. But for photovoltaic, we have solar panels. And here's a breakdown of a solar panel. So we have a semiconductor. Please, everyone correct me if I'm wrong. Two semiconductors, silicon, I believe. One is doped with boron, and one is doped with, what does it say? Boron, phosphorus. Yeah. Phosphorus. And it's counterintuitive. You think that the phosphorus would be p-type, but it's not. Boron is the p-type conductor, phosphorus is the n-type. And what happens is when these photons hit this plate, it knocks electrons off of one of the things, because there's a difference between them, okay? Difference in the charges. So this photons come, knock off the charge, send it to whatever circuit we want it to go to. And that is not clear at all. I need to...
It's all right. It's fine.
You're a trainer.
Alright, so solar energy can produce about 10 kilowatts on a sunny day, and this can be used for most household items like television, washing machines, toasters, small appliances, things like that, and we can actually power those with the sun.
Next type is wind. So, again, as we see with this wonderful generator, if we can make our mechanical energy come from a renewable source, okay, so our mechanical energy input is wind, which turns our turbine, we can actually get energy out of it that way. Click. So 300 to 325 feet tall. Each blade are about 120 feet long. So some basic problems with these is they do put out a lot of power. They're ugly, large footprint. Okay, so we do have to take up a lot of area to use these. Another thing that happens is if they get going too fast, the blades actually bend back in, and sometimes they're gonna hit the stand that holds them up. So this could be a problem. We can't use them to their full potential yet, because they actually have braking systems inside of them, okay? Because if they get going too fast, it's gonna want to take off.
And the environmental impacts too. Like birds and stuff.
Desert tortoises.
Well, like birds. They actually, when they install these and everything, they see like major decreases in like the bird populations and
Well,
things
you
like
remember
that.
that lady last time we gave this to that
Yes.
teachers?
Yeah, and apparently it's taking desert tortoise habitat land. So.
Yeah, and that's it. Just some little things that I found whenever I was researching is that whenever they get going too fast, they actually cost money to run, and they don't produce electricity because you do have to brake. There's some braking involved, so it actually costs power to produce them over what they're rated for. I think most of them are like 30 miles an hour. So if you have 50-mile-an-hour winds, they're costing you money. And so the build for this one,
One quick note on that. This one, I mean, all of our lessons are pretty straightforward and everything, but like we talked about earlier with like the politics and like not wanting to talk about politics, this one could potentially get political with people sometimes. So try your best just to present both sides of the story. You know, renewable energy is good because it gives us, you know, new power sources and new ways of doing things, but it can cause these other things too, and then give, you know, the bird example, the cost example, things like that.
And if you're trying to begin, if we covered the entire planet in solar panels and wind turbines, we still don't meet our
Right.
quota for energy consumption. So they're not the answer.
So if people try and get political with you, just be like, there's pros and cons, you know, it works either way. We're just trying to show you what some potential options are.
yeah, like I said, try to be Canada. They're always neutral, so yeah, it's a good thing to do. All right. So with the build for this one, we have these, which are going to be our generic things, and then we actually, I didn't bring them, but we have cardboard cutouts that they're going to actually use for blades, and the kids are actually going to attach the cardboard cutouts to their base model or whatever, and then you guys all read the current that was coming out with the multimeter, right? That's going to be for this. We haven't bought it yet, but there's going to be a house fan, and we're going to set it on the same speed for all of the groups in the class, and put it right in front of it to simulate our wind, and then we're going to see the current that we get out, and it's kind of be like a competition. You're trying to have the kids think about the angle and how that goes into all of this, and then the group with the highest current output wins nothing.
Yeah.
High fives. They love high fives. Really.
One of them make it easier and cheaper, but we like hook LEDs to those.
They wouldn't power, that motor wouldn't power an LED. You have to have some pretty good outfit.
Yeah, this is maybe like 2 motor. You guys,
LEDs are like one and a
that's
half
it.
though.
That's an optimal RPM. So I've been doing a lot of work with motors for my senior design project, and you have to have max RPM stated to max voltage, and so that's really hard. Usually max RPMs are like 200 RPMs.